What is up, coders? Welcome to a brand new review for a very exciting game, Steamworld Quest Hand of Gilgamech. This is a double review. You get two for the price of one, and the reason I say that is because my lovely co-host, delightful Dillon, will also be putting his thoughts at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that because we both have slightly differing opinions on what we consider to be a pretty cool game. So let's go ahead and strap right in for the review and enjoy. Okay, coders, I know you want to know, what is Steamworld Quest Hand of Gilgamech, and is it any good? Don't worry, we will get you those answers. First off, I want to tell you a little bit how we're going to break down this review. We're going to go into multiple different aspects of the game, from graphics, sound, gameplay, and story, and break it down into the overall fun factor and let you know whether or not you should pick this up. So let's get started. First off, Steamworld Quest Hand of Gilgamech is an awesome game from the developer Image & Form, who you know that I love. I absolutely adored Steamworld. Steamworld Dig 2, one of my favorite games of the last couple years. And I was both very excited and a little concerned about this game. So the reason I was excited is obviously it continues that wonderful storyline and the lore behind Steamworld. But I also heard that it was a card battle game, and I don't know if you guys know, but I am not super into card battle games. That was not on my radar. It was not something I was pumped about. So when I heard that, I was a little concerned. So let's dive right into the gameplay. Was this fun for me? And is this something that is going to have legs because it's a little bit longer of a game? I gotta say, I was blown away. The card battle mechanics absolutely work in this setting. Think about it less like card battle and more like attack picking, but there's an element of a little bit of randomization just because of that deck. But the overall experience was absolutely exciting and engaging, and before I knew it, I'd beaten the game in 15 hours and absolutely loved every second of it. Didn't want to change a single thing. I will definitely be going back to this game and playing some of the extra content because the gameplay is engaging. It has combos. It has different characters are built upon, their decks are built upon healing versus status of proccing, and then there's also characters that have just massive damage dealing. Pretty much anything that you think you'd like, it's going to be in there, and there's going to be a lot of depth to it. I didn't unlock half the cards, I can tell you that, because there's so many to do. There's so many upgrade trees. There's a lot of different customization. If you're into an RPG in general, this is going to be a game for you. It is not just like a Gwent or anything like that. It's much deeper. Now let's go dive into story a little bit, because I think that ties into gameplay a bit. So first of all, this is a very linear, straightforward story, a fantasy setting. I can't tell you too much about where it's set in the timeline or if it's in the timeline at all, but rest assured, it's very interesting how they play it out. The story is about these three main characters with some extra people that they get along the way, going through and trying to prevent some sort of destruction that is happening because of this evil force. We don't know who the evil force is. We just know that this town has like this legend of Gilgamech, which was this super hero that came through and saved the world from this apocalyptic event. And you're going off on this quest, and it's really cool because you meet lots of funny characters, and you obviously know Image & Form writes brilliantly. They have amazing kind of funny characters and interesting takes on things, and I really enjoyed their sense of humor and just the direction that the story took. Next, let's dive quickly into graphics. Now, graphics was a little bit of a point of contention for me. Like, everything else about this game really landed, but graphics for me was one of those places where I felt like it was two steps away from being just absolutely perfect. I think Steamworld Dig 2 took this sprite work and absolutely took it to another level, whereas Steamworld Dig 1 was simple but beautiful. This one has both more complicated sprites, but also a more toned down art style. And the way that you traverse through the map, which is fairly linear with a couple branching paths, you kind of choose which direction you want to go after you walk around and stuff like that. But those actual like background set dressings don't really get super interesting and visually attractive until the very end of the game. And so that was something that at least initially on, I was a little concerned with. I think it was a pretty solid all-around graphical setup, but not incredible. Now let's look at the sound. Now the sound, it had some excellent music. I gotta say, some of the best music that I've heard in Steamworld Dig and the Steamworld universe. So absolutely worth your time here. All the attacks are great. There was not too many repeated sounds, anything that would get grate on you because you're doing a lot of the same things over and over again. I think overall, like, I really enjoyed the experience audibly about this game. So yeah, overall, just a really great game. And then fun factor overall, I think this is where it excels the most. It's the thing that surprised me more than anything. More than any like single system or single graphical effect or audio cue, whatever it is. It was just, this game had some heart, some truly amazing heart to it. And it really doesn't matter what the battle system was. It's like, it's got this addictive quality that once you start, you really don't want to stop, and you want to find where it's going to go at the end. And it even has some cool twists to the formula throughout the game to keep you interested. So overall, I think just a stellar experience, and at least I highly recommend this game. I think it's totally worth the $24.99 they're charging for it. You should absolutely pick this up on April 25th. I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. So thank you guys for tuning into my part of the review. Stay tuned for Dillon's part of the review, Delightful Dillon's part of the review that is coming up right now.
Well, howdy coders, Delightful Dillon here with my review on the Steamworld Quest Hand of Gilgamech game. So I was lucky enough to get my hands on this early with Keith, and we got it on the Switch. So as it comes to the Switch version, the graphics were wonderful in the handheld, as to be expected, but twice as nice once we put it up on the big screen. I really enjoyed all the background shadows and movement, while you're playing through the game. Story-wise, kept you playing through, allowed for you to do a little bit of side grinding to do upgrades, but really kept you pretty enthralled in the story. Really shout out to them for that. Gameplay for a card battler, I really enjoyed it. Once you unlocked all the abilities to upgrade your cards and your characters to the max, and you got all the characters unlocked, then it really came into its own. So I really had fun with it. It was challenging, but not overly challenging. I played on the medium difficulty, and it was a blast. Sound, background music was great as always, and the little stand-ins for the voices, always a wonderful addition, and this time around they were particularly amazing. And that brings me around to the fun factor. Fun factor definitely has a lot of replayability. I love the card battle style and the little animations. I wish they did a little bit more customization for the customization pieces on your character, but that can be overlooked because the game was super fun, and I'd play it 2-3 times, no problem. So that should speak for itself. Alrighty, that's been my review of Steamworld Quest Hand of Gilgamech.
Well, coders, that's it for our Steamworld Quest Hand of Gilgamech review. I hope you enjoyed what we thought about it, and I really do recommend you guys go and pick this up. We both loved it, and we can't wait to play it again, I'm sure. But the one thing we need from you is to leave in the comments below any questions you might have, as well as any thoughts on the coverage that we've had so far, or anything you want to see. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I think you'll like all the content that we have. We've been doing this for over a year and a half now, and we can't wait to bring you more and more cool content. Keep supporting the channel, and as always, stay classy, coders.